right, it's May 17th. We're going to go look at the S&P 500 here. This is a review, maybe even a sneak peek for tomorrow. Let's see. So, a couple of things that we talk about a lot, and I'm going to just start right out of the gate with this. So, the pro trader tip of the day. Context is king. Nothing's more important than context. So a lot of traders will get wrapped up around, even when someone comes in and they're new to prediction points or maybe some of the other tools that we have, and they get really wrapped up around one, this price or that price or this tick or that tick, and they get really wrapped up around price. And certainly price is extremely important, but nothing's more important than context. So I'll give you an example of what I'm thinking of, and it's kind of an example by extreme to illustrate the point. So last year, I believe it was, I remember because I was trading and I was short the S&P, and then I covered that short, and about 3 minutes later, the Fed unexpectedly cut rates, and on the S&P there was a 1 minute candle that was 70 points. So yes, price went up 70 points, but in what context? The context of the Fed unexpectedly cutting rates. And that day the market retraced that entire 70-point move and ended up going much lower and closing lower on the day. So yes, price matters. Nothing's more important than context. Okay? So let's talk about today coming in here, context for today. And I think I wanted to show you something from MAP. And if you're not familiar with MAP, it's really where our best traders are trading. And anyone who's really committed to their trading or taking their trading to the next level. This is where I think is the best place for them to be. So we said right here at 6:03 Pacific time, the best thing to say is probably a range here. And breaking 35 area is the sellers taking a stronger hold, but breaking 20 is really bad news for buy side. And that would likely put the sellers fully in charge for at least 4106.50. So above that, we have 4160, 62, and then we said 68 to 72. So let me show you how this all plays out here today. So we have 40, we said basically, keep in mind, we said basically a range between up to 75, but we said 68. And then we had this CP down here at 36.50, and we said give that just a little bit of room down here to 35, just so that it could probe through there and still be okay. In other words, if you were long here, you could put a stop just a little bit below there. And then let's look at what actually happened here today. And I'm going to switch this over to a 2-minute, just so you can get a really good look at how things played out. So initial push up in the morning, where does it go? It goes to, first of all, this first one, I was trying to short here at the CP, and when it came a little bit short right here, I thought, yeah, no, they're probably going to come up and push it a bit higher. So where did they push it to? They went to 67. It was a little bit in front. We were really looking for up to here, 68, up to like 72 area. So they came a point in front of that. And then I know there were a number of traders who ended up getting short right here. So the market came down, came below the CP, and then they ended up getting short right here. And we said initially we would want to cover here in front of 45. So covered in front of 45, it bounced back. And then ultimately we're looking for that CP down here. That's what we said starting off the day. So pretty lackluster here. And then finally they came down, they hit the CP. And then what happens? Comes all the way back up here, back to this CP. So CP to CP. So if your strategy was, I'm going to just trade from CP to CP, and you're short this CP, your target's down here at 30, let's just call it 36. So from 60 down to 36. So there's 24 points. And if you bought the CP, your target would be that CP. There's another 24 points. So there's a 48-point day if you only traded both of the CPs today. That's it. Now, maybe you tried it here and lost a couple of points. Okay. Maybe you thought it came down and you tried it here and you lost a couple more points. And then you sold it right there. And then you bought it over there and covered it right over there. And if that was all you did and you lost 2 points on those two losers, you're up 44 points on the day. So nothing's going to work 100% of the time. Anyone's telling you that has, if you're buying that, I have some oceanfront property in Arizona, and I'll throw it in with whatever you're buying with that. So nothing works 100% of the time. Win rate is meaningless. These should probably all be pro tips, but you're getting it all right now. Win rate's pointless. I have a trader come to me a couple years ago and he tells me, I have a 92% win rate. I go, that's fantastic. Show me, show me how much money you're making. Well, it turns out, yeah, he had a 92% win rate, and the one losing trade that he had wiped out everything that he had made and more. So 92% win rate's meaningless. I don't care if my win rate's 10%. I care about my bottom line. So, all right, so what happened today? The market traded in a range. That shouldn't really be a surprise. That's what we said this morning. It never broke below the CP. It never broke out up above the range that we gave. It's been in a range. That's where it's been. So we're still in a range. Nothing's changed. Let's go. We're going to go back to a 5-minute chart. And let's go back over and look over here. Great. So things really kind of start to look a little cleaner. I love it. So I love how, so one of the things that happens here over time is as you get more familiar with prediction points, you just have kind of an ability to read what's going on here. So originally we said, not much up above 75 if we're going to head lower. Now look at what's happening here. We have this KP at 75, and then look all the way up here into that 41.88. So these are now tomorrow's prediction points. And we have key turns here at 75 as well. So between 74 3/4 and 75 1/4, there's three prices going on in here, right? And then we have this 70 half, and we've got quite a bit going on here. And then for lower, there's really nothing down here. So at this point, we would think there was just so much going on over here. I wouldn't expect anything down here to hold anything up too much, but then look how much room there is. All the way down to 41.19, and then look below that, way down into here. So things really start to open up for lower if it starts to change. If we start to see some selling coming into the market here, we'll just have to see how the Globex goes. Where I'll be in the morning. I'll be back here doing a pre-market walkthrough. We'll do the best job we can possibly do. We'll try and give you the best heads up of what things are looking like in the market, and whether we want to be buying or selling. Here's a scenario just to give you an idea. What we could see is we could see a push up into this area, even, it really starts to open up. Look, we could come all the way up to here. That's possible, but we'll take that one step at a time because that's a lot. So what we could see is this 41.90 area, and maybe just a little bit of a probe above that, a couple points above that, what we talked about today, and then a 90-point drop. 86-point drop or something. Maybe not all at one time, but if they're able to break out up above over here in the 90s, we're going into the 42.20s. Okay? So as time goes on, things can change a little bit. In fact, they tend to change a little bit. So we'll see how things go overnight, and if things start to change overnight, we'll certainly adapt for that in the morning. But for now, that's kind of what we're looking for, and then we'll see how things go overnight. That'll help us get some better answers for tomorrow and know what's more on the table for tomorrow. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you're missing out because you don't get notified when we go live. So subscribe to the channel and you'll get notified when we go live. Thanks for tuning in today. I'll be back here in the morning and we'll do the walkthrough and we'll basically tell you what's going to happen. That's, I think, the job of those. So we will see you back here in the morning. Have a great rest of your night.